After regaining independence in 1918, Poland declared war on only one country, Japan. This happened 4 days after the attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941. The then Prime Minister of Japan, Hideki Tojo, commented on the declaration of war by Poland as follows: "We do not accept Poland's challenge. The Poles, fighting for their freedom, only declare war on us under pressure from the United Kingdom." Japan was one of the first countries in the world to recognize Poland's independence in 1919. Before World War II, in the 1930s, Poland established quite specific relations with Japan. Representatives of the imperial family unofficially visited the country on the Vistula River, bilateral trade agreements were signed, and both intelligence agencies cooperated most intensively. Both Polish and Japanese intelligence agencies gave priority to obtaining data on the USSR. The situation was a bit complicated. The Japanese were allies of the Germans, but after the Ribbentrop-Molotov Pact, Tokyo maintained unofficial relations with the Poles. The entry of the Wehrmacht into Poland in 1939 was received in Tokyo with sadness. The Polish embassy in the Japanese capital was closed under German pressure in October 1941. Despite the severance of diplomatic relations, both countries nevertheless maintained intelligence cooperation. The Japanese shared with the Poles, among other things, information about the eastern areas of the USSR. It was also worth noting that Major Jan Kowalewski helped organize the Japanese Radio Intelligence Service. This military man was known for breaking codes during the Polish-Bolshevik War. The Poles also received information from the Japanese about the approximate date of the German attack on the Soviet Union. This news was later passed on to the British. Interestingly, Polish intelligence agents moved with the passports of the Japanese Empire of Manchukuo puppet state created by Japan in 1932. Poland and Japan were formally in conflict with each other until February 1957, when the agreement to restore normal relations was signed. It happened in New York, 12 years after the end of World War II. For almost 16 years of the formal conflict, the Polish and Japanese armies did not struggle with each other in any battle, which does not mean that the Poles did not fight the Japanese. The most famous figure here is the pilot, Major Witold Urbanowicz, commander of Squadron 303, who shot down several Japanese planes in the Far East while serving in the Flying Tiger Squadron, the American volunteer group. On December 11, 1943, he fought alone against 6 Japanese planes, of which he shot down 2. 2 Polish passenger ships, Pulaski and Sobieski, also found their way to the Far East. They were converted into transport ships that carried British soldiers across the ocean.